Hey, it's Amy Newmark. I'm off this week because I'm taking a staycation, something I've always recommended to our readers and never actually tried myself. I hope you enjoy some of my favorite episodes this week, and I'll see you next week.
Changing your life one story at a time. This is the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast with Editor-in-Chief Amy Newmark.
Hey, it's Amy Newmark with your daily dose of Chicken Soup for the Soul inspiration to make you simply happy. It's Tip Tuesday, and I want to share a story that I think can make a big difference to you because it will help you develop the will and the way to step out of your comfort zone and try something new. This story, called The Tuesday Night Ladies League, is from a book all about changing your life, Chicken Soup for the Soul, Reboot Your Life. In this story, Pat Waller tells us that when her friend Sherry invited her to join a bowling league, she thought it was a crazy idea. She hadn't bowled since high school, and she couldn't even remember how to keep score anymore. You know, that whole complicated thing about how you score for spares and strikes. Sherry laughed at Pat and pointed out that these days the computer keeps track of the score. And she said that the league would give Pat a handicap, so it wouldn't matter how bad she was at bowling. She could still play with everyone and fit in. She pointed out that in this league they weren't really competing with each other. They were just there to have fun. Pat was still hesitant. Besides knowing that she would stink at bowling, she also figured that by the time she got home from work, she would be tired and she wouldn't want to go out, and maybe she should just stay home and watch TV. But then, instead of doing what she knew was sensible and saying no, she surprised herself and she blurted out yes and said, "Okay, I'll try." And then she reluctantly went to the pro shop to get her shoes and to get her ball, and she actually went for a much lighter ball than she was supposed to get. But she just felt like such a beginner. On that first night of bowling, she says she slipped into the building feeling like an imposter. But she found her teammates, and although her palms were sweating when her turn came, she picked up the ball and she gave it her best shot. And she was awful. It was exactly what she expected. The ball went right into the gutter, and her second ball went right into the gutter too. But her teammates flocked around her and gave her advice. She still bowled pretty badly that night. In fact, her best game that night was when her score actually exceeded her age, which is not very good. At the end of the evening, Pat wanted to slink away and never go back, but everyone was so nice to her that she felt obligated to return, and she kept going back week after week. And after her first month, her score actually broke 100. The support she got from her teammates and from the ladies on the other teams was so generous and encouraging. It really was about way more than bowling. It was about women getting out there and exercising and taking some time for themselves to step away from their regular lives. Pat says she never, ever would have thought of joining a bowling team if her friend hadn't suggested it. And now I'm quoting from her story. She says, "The Tuesday Night Ladies League helped me step outside my circle of comfort and exchange a stale old routine for a vibrant new one. In the process, I've gotten to know a wonderful group of women who comfort me when I have a bad game and cheer me on when I do well. Bowling is a night out with the girls. The next time an unlikely opportunity comes alone, I won't hesitate a minute." So this is one of my favorite Chicken Soup for the Soul messages. That encouragement to step outside your comfort zone. It's something I actively try to do, forcing myself to do the little things like trying a new food or shopping at a new grocery store, or the big things like going to a new place on vacation or trying a scary new activity, like that one I told you about in a past podcast when I jumped off that cliff and went paragliding in Oman last fall. We're actually collecting stories for a new Chicken Soup for the Soul book called Step Outside Your Comfort Zone. So if you have a great story about your own experience trying something new and different, and you want to be a published author, visit our website, chickensoup.com, and scroll down the homepage to click on Submit Your Story. We'll walk you through the process of submitting your own story And then maybe you'll appear in our book. In the meantime, come back tomorrow for our Wow Wednesday podcast. I've got a great story for you about a woman who tricked her boyfriend into stepping way outside his comfort zone and auditioning for America's Got Talent. And he did really well. There are a couple more surprises in the story too, which I'll share with you tomorrow.